So I've had some people ask about different automakers, different EV companies from China. So let me cover just a few. There are a lot of automakers and a lot of EV companies in China, but I want to just focus on some of the ones that are out there, kind of hot or in the news, or that maybe have some acclaim, or you might have heard of or might see. There's Xpeng, it's ticker symbol XPENG. I'm surprised that was actually trading above NIO right now for their stock price. Then there's Li Auto, that is a hybrid vehicle maker, so it's a combination, not a true EV. Then there's, I believe it's BYD. I think Buffett's involved with that one, and they're kind of a lower end, at least compared to NIO. NIO is the premium brand, the luxury EV automaker in China. Then we've got, let's see, one, two, three, four. Oh, yeah, that company that rhymes with Mesla. There's always that one. And I will say for last, because I want to talk Chinese companies first. They're going to be less familiar to us here in America anyway, in North America. And so, again, my thoughts and what I have looked up with these companies, I did several months ago. The reason I looked them up is I wanted to make sure that NIO was a lock for my dominant force, at least that no one would compete with them. And so I looked up a little bit about each company. And so, as I said, Li Auto, they are a hybrid. So I don't really consider them a true competitor in a sense, that they are not an EV automaker. They also, I don't think, have the tech aspect or value play that NIO has, but frankly, I don't know if any of them other than the American company do. So Xpeng, they've got some things going on, but they are not doing the same type of battery swap, and that is a big advantage, a huge advantage in my opinion that NIO has, especially in the Chinese market. And then we're going to talk about what does separate NIO from these other Chinese brands in the Chinese market as well. So let's see who else. BYD, lower end, I already said, and Buffett's involved. Buffett, the thing about Buffett is he's smart enough to know that typically his model is he buys profitable companies, and he's smart enough to leave them alone. He lets the management that's in place, that's taken them to profitability, continue to run them. And so I think that's a good play. Frankly, the Chinese market is so vast. It's so big. I think you could probably make money with any of these. And I am only invested or interested, at this point anyway, in NIO. And that includes the American company. I'm not putting dollars into them. I am putting the money I could put into them into NIO, but I'll get to that in a minute. So I think I've covered the Chinese companies. Okay, so here's what's kind of a separation point in my mind. The battery as a service and the battery swapping technology that NIO has is unrivaled. I'll say it again. I don't see anyone competing with them at that level. There are a couple of other companies in China that are doing the battery swapping, but the Chinese government has already partnered with NIO. They've already backed them. They've already done a lot of things that make it obvious that the two are working together at some level. And whether it's the vertical integration and the JAC plant where the vehicles are being produced, which is owned by the government, and NIO continuing to just work with them instead of trying to put up their own plant. I think that was really smart. I also think that the government has looked favorably on them for that. And we're already seeing them do the double shift thing starting in November. They're talking about upping their monthly delivery numbers to 7,500 in January. That's crazy. They just had their record in October. We're going to have another record in November. In October, they had over 5,000. We're going to see more of the same, and that is going to translate into this share price going up. I firmly believe that. So the other thing, and there are a couple components to this, there are a couple of things about Chinese culture in the market and the consumer that especially we as Americans don't understand or maybe don't fully recognize. The Chinese will pay more money for a premium brand. And not only that, but the Chinese people they have a saying. It's not just in China, also in Taiwan, I believe. They call it face, and the idea is image, and image matters. They want to portray and lead with a certain image, and one way that they do that is by buying name brand things. I mean, how do you think that the whole industry of knockoffs came about? Because of this idea, this infatuation with the luxury brands in China. So the fact that China now, for the first time ever, has its own legitimate premium luxury brand in Neo, it's tough to overstate the importance that that has within the market and the way that consumers are looking at it. I've talked about in other videos how there's already been at least one Chinese consumer who was saying that they are upgrading from a Tesla to a Neo. Okay, that speaks for itself. There again. Now, the executives from Neo have said a couple times when they've been asked about that American company that rhymes with Mesla and how that company is having some discounted pricing, the Neo execs basically said, well, we haven't really seen any impact to us on that, and we do not discount our prices. I think that speaks to them recognizing that the Chinese people and the consumers will pay for a premium brand. And I believe we're already starting to see that play out. And let's not forget that the Chinese government did have that American company that rhymes with Mesla do a 50,000 car recall in China. Do you think that didn't stick with the consumers and the buyers and maybe bring some attention to this American company in a negative light? These are all just things that I sort of make note of. But there's another thing, and this is another thing that Americans, I don't know that we really recognize this. 80%, I believe is the number, 80% of buyers in China, when you're buying an automobile, these folks, 80% of the time are buying cash buyers. Now, the battery swap technology and the monthly subscription that Neo has rolled out allows the buyer to save about $10,000 on the price and to enroll in the monthly subscription. So this does two things. For the cash buyer, if I'm buying and I'm able to save $10,000 on a cash purchase, I like that. Now, this is not a discount. Let's be clear, not a discount, because Neo doesn't discount their prices. So I'm still purchasing a premium vehicle, but now I can do the monthly subscription plan and pay for, as Neo comes out with their 100 kilowatt battery and later their 150 kilowatt battery, guess what? I can just upgrade into those and keep my same nice, beautiful luxury vehicle just with the upgraded battery. This is beautiful, and there is no other company doing this. These are the kinds of things, these are the, I've called them hidden value plays before, that analysts are not recognizing. No one is fully comprehending just how powerful this is going to be and the revenues that are going to be generated from it. So, all things of note. And ultimately, I think the Chinese government is not going to allow this American company, who at present has more brand name recognition globally than Neo, but they're already being compared regularly to Neo. And there is one area that I do consider the companies to be similar, and that is both companies are EV/tech companies. They have both components, which means there are a lot of value plays embedded within each of these two companies. But the company that rhymes with Mesla did not achieve profitability without the assistance of the American government and all of its subsidies. Neo is already going to be receiving some of these subsidies in China. And do you really think that the Chinese government is going to sit there and let an American company come in and dominate their market? Not a chance. They're just not going to let it happen. I cannot imagine that happening. I believe they will let them do business there. I don't think that they will allow Neo to be surpassed in the long term by this company from America. And frankly, that's all I need to know. Neo wants to go global. I don't need them to go global. I want them to dominate the Chinese market because it is so much bigger than the rest of the world's market for EVs. And they're already talking about expansion, so great for them. Great for anyone who sees this value and is getting involved. I am involved. I will continue to be involved long term. I am an investor. I'm going to keep buying the shares when I can, as I can, and I just hope that I don't get priced out too fast, because this thing is, I don't see it slowing down. We're just in the first of at least 3 major growth phases for NIO, and we got a ways to go. So put your seatbelt on, buckle in, because we're going for a ride with this NIO train. I'm having fun. I hope you're enjoying watching. Not a legal advisor, not a financial advisor. I am certainly not an attorney. I'm just a guy sharing a little bit of what I've learned, what I've studied, hundreds of hours over these last 5 months since I first got involved with NIO. Like, share, subscribe, or don't, and we'll keep it low key. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.